Now, if you wanted to tackle a question like the one that was in a warm-up, you'll see that the question probably won't be this complicated and this detailed. Instead, the question will guide you a little bit, and it'll look more like this. So use the chain rule to go off and do this for these three embedded functions. So we've got y is equal to u squared minus 5. U itself is a function of v, so it's 3v squared plus root v. And then v is a smaller function, a smaller little Russian doll, as 3x squared plus 6. All of this, I want you to find at x equals 1. So the question will look more like in blue, where it says use the chain rule, given all these informations, as opposed to the thing in black where you have to assign u's and v's. Okay, so the important thing is, since we know x equals 1, we can use it in each of the other ones, get the other information. So it's, instead of x squared, it's 1 squared plus 6. So that's just going to be 9, so v equals 9. Now I can in turn use this fact that v equals 9 to put it into this function. So then this is 3 times 81 plus root 9, which is 3. 3 times 81 is 243, plus 3 is 246. And so now I've got information. I know that u is equal to 246, v is equal to 9, and all of this is because we're doing x equals 1. If I change the question and x equals 2, then of course v and u would in turn change. Okay, so we're asked to find the chain rule. So ultimately what we want to do is differentiate dy by dx. But in this case, we have 3 steps, intermediate ones. We first are going to look at dy by du and discover, okay, that's dy by du. And then a u itself is a function of v, you see, du by dv. And the last one is dv, which is finally a function of x. And because we're using the chain rule, we've been able to break this question up into 3 smaller, more manageable questions. We differentiate each of them on their own. So dy by du is differentiating this guy. Well, that's easy. It's just 2u. Du by dv is this guy, a little bit more complicated. 3v squared, okay, the derivative of that is just 9v. Plus, okay, remember the root sign is root v is the same as v to the 1/2. So I'll bring the 1/2 down and subtract 1 from the top, and I'll get this. And then finally, dv by dx is derivative of that guy, which is just 6x. So again, you can see how this is much more manageable than if we were trying to differentiate the whole thing all in one step. And now, of course, the question asks for the derivative of a specific spot, so we know some of these values. We're going to take all these values here and sub it into this. So u we discovered was 246, so it's 2 times, or sorry, yeah, 246. V we discovered was 9. And x is 1. And we'll have a little bit of math, and maybe you can pause and do the math on your own and then check in a second. But the rest of this question is just now doing the math. So you can watch. Okay, I'm noticing a mistake that I can quickly fix, I think. That's right here. Maybe you've already noticed this mistake. You see when I took the derivative of this thing, brought this down, this should be a 6. Okay, so that's 6v, not 9v. So you might have noticed that mistake already, which would be great. And luckily I've noticed it now, so that I don't have to re-record the whole thing. All right, so 6 times 9 is 54. Minus, well, that's 1/2 times 9 to the negative 1/2. So that the negative tells me to put the answer on the bottom, and the bottom is going to be the square root of 9, which is 3 times 6. Again, so this is 492 times, what do we got, 54 plus, oh, even back here, this is a plus 1/6 times 6. Common denominator 6. Okay. And so, again, the last part of this question I'm not too stressed about. It's just some algebraic manipulation. You notice, just make sure you do catch the 2 small little mistakes that I made. The 6 I've already corrected. This, as I was doing the question, I realized that I had the plus. I put a minus there, but it should be plus. And the rest gets down, and then we should get 159,900 as the slope. Okay. But again, hopefully you can see the merits of the chain rule, because it took a question that looked like this up here, broken up into small sections. So the differentiation itself is actually pretty easy right here. That's the differentiation. And because we know what u, v, and x are, we can do substitutions here. And the rest is just not very exciting algebra. Or not even algebra, just some evaluation. Okay? So chain rule takes some practice. And I know you want to practice, and you'll have the rest of the period to do that. So your practice then is going to be page 159, number 9. There's lots of questions there for you to look at. The one word of warning is we have a wrong in back. So number 9G is wrong in the back. The actual answer is 224. All right, so good luck with that.